Proclamation of 1763 that King George III issued.
I wish I could go, but I need to tend the pigs and feed the cows.
The pigs and cows can wait. You should come with me. This protest is important.
Yeah, my brother tells me the same. He had planned to build a farm on the new land. And now the land is off limits.
Exactly. The proclamation is unjust. Why do we fight for the land if we can't even move there?
True, I know someone that used to trade with the Native Americans. Now he has to pay license to travel and trade with them. So it's so unfair. And now England wants full control over us. And I'm sick of it.
Well, one of the reasons why King George doesn't want us to settle the land is because he thinks there will be conflict between the colonists and the Native Americans. He thinks the Native Americans will attack us if we cross their land, and that he will have to pay for more British soldiers to protect us.
I don't need protection. Check out my muscles. I don't lift all that heavy head for nothing.
So are you coming with me or not?
I'll go, but I need to make a sign.
You can begin my barn. Let's go.
Hello, how do you feel, young man?
I think you're here to get my college degree stamp.
That'll be 8 shillings and 3 pence.
8 shillings and 3 pence? That price is outrageous. The stamp act is ridiculous. I would charge for the state limit.
What if you don't get it stamped? It will be worthless.
Ma'am, is this the price to get a marriage certificate stamped the same price? I found 8 shillings and 3 pence to be quite expensive. I just got mine last week and enough to make my marriage official.
The price to send the marriage certificate is double.
Fiddlesticks, you must be insane if you think I'll pay that price.
Do you want to pay or not? I do not have time for the dilly-dally.
Well, you are rude, violent.
Man, that is no way to speak to another lady.
This tax was from another country. You should not question the king or the British Parliament.
I'll question whomever I please. The person who is being disloyal is you.
Get out of my office or I'll have you arrested.
By who? Most colonists are against all stamp collectors. As we speak, there are people outside protesting the Stamp Act.
Oh, look, here comes one of the protesters now.
Come outside, guys, and help us protest for the Stamp Act. I would, but I need my marriage certificate stamped. You want to know why I think the Stamp Act? It is rubbish.
I will have you arrested, young man.
I dare you. By golly, that is about to tar and feather one of the stamp collectors.
Tar and feather? I'm out of here, folks. Hello, young man. How do you fare?
I am well, thank you. I am here to get my college degree stamped.
That will be 8 shillings and 3 pence.
8 shillings and 3 pence? That price is outrageous. The Stamp Act is ridiculous. I worked hard for this diploma.
Well, if you don't get it stamped, it will be worthless.
Excuse me, ma'am, but is the price to stamp a marriage certificate the same price? I find 8 shillings and 3 pence to be quite expensive. I just got married last week and would like to make my marriage official.
The price to stamp the marriage certificate is double.
Fiddlesticks! You must be insane if you think I will pay that price.
The tax comes from my mother's country, and you should not question the king or the British Parliament.
I will question whoever I please. The one who's being as loyal as you.
Get out of my office or I will have you arrested.
By who?
Most colonists are against all stamp collectors. As we speak, there are people outside protesting Stamp Act.
Oh look, here comes one of the protesters now.
Hello, friends. Come outside and help us protest the Stamp Act.
I wish I could, but I really need my marriage certificate stopped.
Well, you know what I think of the Stamp Act? What? Yeah. Rubbish. I think it's rubbish.
Get out of my office or I will have you arrested.
I dare you.
By golly, there was a tar and feather, one of the stamp collectors.
Tar and feather, I'm out of here.
Now remember, Susie, you must mind your manners when you go in the governor's home. Your father's right, Susie. Governor Frazier is Dakota Family Friend. Even though he is a loyal to his family and different opinions about the city here, you must mind your manners. Do you understand me?
Yes, Mother.
Good afternoon. We're here to see Governor Frazier. Look up his hand at this way.
Well, hello there, friends. Thank you so much for visiting. It is such a pleasure. Please sit down.
We have so much to discuss since we're on the brink of war with England. To think that they would impose another tax with the township.
Yes, indeed. But there are two sides of a story, and despite the tax, I remain loyal to England. Anyhow, let's have some tea and scones.
This herbal tea is scrumptious.
Here you go, young mistress. Enjoy.
No, thank you.
Susan, please try the tea. It is very expensive and comes from a British tea shop.
No, thank you, sir. I am boycotting from all tea from England.
Susan, have some manners and drink some.
Absolutely not, Mother. I am appalled that you would even drink some.
Susan, how dare you! You must apologize to your mother once you're being very rude. Let the child do as she please. I take no offense.
Susan, be obedient and drink some.
Susan! Susan! Susan, how dare you!
So, sorry, Dad, but I'm a patriot at heart and a proud daughter of liberty.
Good morning, Mistress Gray. How do you fare?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm here because I need a pot for my kitchen.
You've come to the right place. I can make that for you in no time.
Did you happen to read the Boston Gazette this morning? There was a picture of the Boston Massacre by Paul Revere.
Indeed, I did. They wrote a poem to go along with it, too. They called the British soldiers savages and barbarians.
Well, they did shoot on armed, innocent people. 5 souls died. What happened was tragic. Those soldiers are barbarians.
Well, let's not forget that the protesters weren't an unruly mob. It all started when they were taunting a soldier. They were insulting and threatening him.
Apparently, the soldier fought back and struck one of the colonists with his bayonet. They were throwing snowballs and stones at him.
A customer of mine was there the night that it happened. He said that the soldiers pleaded for help, but the mob just grew larger.
Well, those colonists shouldn't have threatened that soldier, but that is no reason for them to shoot into the mob and end lives.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The captain of the soldiers told them not to fire, but one of them fired anyway.
It must have been very chaotic when it all happened.
My neighbor actually knew the first person that was killed, that was struck. His name was Crispus Attucks. He met him on a trading route to Asia. He said he was a fine sailor.
I bet next week there is to be a town meeting demanding the British soldiers leave. I do hope those redcoats leave. I'm tired of seeing them patrolling our streets as if we are prisoners in our very own city.
I plan on attending. Many of the colonists and the captain men will be given the 3rd degree for sure.
Well, I hope that justice is served. Anyhow, it was a pleasure to speak with you.
You too, Mr. Gray. I'll have that pot ready for you by next week. Thanks for stopping by. Good day.
Good evening, Mr. Fulton. How do you do today?
Very well, thank you. Come on in. You and Charles are early, but the others will be here soon.
Great, Thomas, how are you tonight?
I have all my ducks in a row. I've packed my bag so I can leave after we dump the tea. I wish I could say that I did not want to face imprisonment.
Speaking of imprisonment, let's get your faces covered in some soot. We don't want anybody to recognize you. It'd be a shame if you got caught red-handed.
Most of us are dressing up as Mohawk Native Americans. We have some feathers to put on our heads and some wool blankets to cover ourselves with.
My heavens, whose idea was it to dress up as Mohawks?
I'm not sure if it's mostly symbolic more than anything. We want England to know that we're no longer British subjects. We are Americans now.
She has a point there.
Are the others meeting us at the Griffin Wars?
They are. I've been assigned to dump the tea from the Beaver ship. Charles, you're dumping the tea from the Eleanor ship.
Charles, did you bring the hatchet? Those boxes of tea are going to be heavier than you think. It's about 92,000 pounds that you boys are going to have to throw over into the harbor. You're going to have to open the boxes to throw the tea over.
Sure did, man. I wish I could see the royal governor's face when he hears about the tea tomorrow morning. He's going not to forget sending those ships back to England. To think they wanted to pay such a high price. It's a disgrace.
Did you hear that the other colonies are protesting against the Act too? In Philadelphia and New York, they forced the British ships to return back to England. In South Carolina, the tea was unloaded but left to rot on the docks.
I did. I also heard that in Maryland the tea was set on fire.
How long is it going to take us to dump all of that tea?
I reckon 3 hours, but remember what Samuel Adams said. There shall be no damage done to any vessels and no one is hurt.
Well, gentlemen, it was a pleasure speaking with you. When you get back, I'll dispose off your Mohawk attire and help you get this soot off of your faces. Best of luck tonight.
Goodbye, Mr. Fulton. We promise to make Boston Harbor a teapot tonight.
Good evening, Mr. Fulton. How do you do?
Very well, thank you. Come on in. You and Charles are early, but the others will be here soon.
Good evening, Thomas. Are you ready for tonight?
Yes, I got all my ducks in a row. I packed my bag, ready to leave town. If we get caught, I don't want to. But if we get caught, I don't want to face imprisonment.
Speaking of imprisonment, let's get your face covered in some soot. We don't want anyone to recognize you. Be ashamed to be caught red-handed.
Most of us are dressing up as Mohawks, Native Americans. I brought some feathers to put on our heads and wool blankets to cover ourselves with.
My heavens! Whose idea was it to dress up as a Mohawk?
I'm not sure, but it's mostly symbolic. More than anything, we want England to know is we are no longer British subjects. We are Americans.
You have a point there.
Are others meeting us at Griffin Bar?
Yes, there's 3 ships already anchored there. From the East India Company. I'm dumping the tea from the Beaver ship. Charles, you're dumping the tea from the Eleanor ship.
Did you bring the hatchet, Charles? Those boxes are heavier than you think. You know, about 92,000 pounds of tea you boys are going to have to throw over the harbor. You're going to have to open up those wooden crates to dump the tea.
I sure did, ma'am. I wish I could see the royal governor's face tomorrow morning when he hears about the tea. Do you think he's going to regret not sending those ships back to England? Do you think they want us to pay such a high price for tea? It's a disgrace.
If y'all hear that the other colonies are protesting at the act as well? Philadelphia and New York forced the British ships to return back to England, and South Carolina unloaded the tea from off the ships and left it rot on the docks.
I sure did. I also heard that in Maryland the tea was set on fire.
So how long do you think it's gonna take us to dump? How long do you think it's gonna take us to dump all the tea?
I reckon 3 hours, but I remember what Samuel Adams said. No damage was to be done to any other vessels and no one should get hurt.
Nicole Wojcicki to the front desk to leave. Nicole Wojcicki.
Hello, gentlemen. It was a pleasure speaking with you. When you get back, I'll dispose your mohawk attire and help you get the soot off your faces. Best of luck tonight.
Thank you, Mrs. Susan. We promise to make Boston Harbor a tea pot tonight.
Gentlemen, I want to thank you for coming to see me today.
You're most welcome, Dr. Warren. What can we do for you?
Before we start, please close the door. I don't want anyone eavesdropping. I'd like to commission both of you gentlemen to help me with the plan I've devised to warn the colonists when the British troops are approaching.
Absolutely, sir. You can count on us.
The Redcoats plan to arrest our most valiant sons of liberty, Samuel Adams and John Hancock. They are staying at a house in Lexington and plan to go to the town of Concord and destroy military stores.
I know of that military storehouse. Rebel leaders are storing gunpowder, ammunition, and several cannons there.
I need you men to ride out and warn Samuel Adams and John Hancock when the British troops are approaching.
I'll take the northern route to Lexington with my fastest horse. I'll have to travel across the water by rowboat, but it's the fastest way.
I'll take the southern route, even though it's longer, but I know it well. I use it often for business. I know the T-Rain and the British guards that patrol the area, so how will we know when to ride out?
We also need to know if the British are coming by land or water. That way we know how to avoid them.
We need to find someone to watch and signal whether the British are coming by land or water.
I know the right man for the job, Robert Newman. He looks after the Old North Church. I'll instruct him to send the signal with the lanterns in the tower of the church.
That's a perfect spot. It will signal other fellow Sons of Liberty across the Charles River, just in case you can't leave town.
I'll instruct him to signal 2 lanterns if they come by water, 1 if they march by land.
Paul, you will need to make a few stops to our militia commanders and the Minutemen when the British are coming. It'll be a dangerous ride.
We're up to the task, sir. You can count on us.
I second that. We are loyal Sons of Liberty and support the Patriots at all costs.
Like Patrick Henry said, give me liberty, forgive me death.
Very well, gentlemen. Let's pray that this is a successful mission and that our plan works. Thank you all for coming again. We will be in touch. Coming to see me today.
You're most welcome, Dr. Warren. What can we do for you?
Before we start, can we please shut the door? I don't want anyone eavesdropping. I'd like to commission both of you gentlemen to help me with the plan I've devised to warn the colonists when the British come to attack.
Absolutely, sir. You can count on us.
The Redcoats plan to arrest the most valued Sons of Liberty, Samuel Adams and John Hancock. They are staying at a house in Lexington. They also plan on going to the town of Concord to capture and destroy military stores.
I know of that military storehouse. Rebel leaders are storing gunpowder, ammunition, and several cannons there.
I need you men to ride out and warn Samuel Adams and John Hancock when the British troops are approaching.
It'll be late at night when the British arrive. I can take the northern route to Lexington with my fastest horse. I'll have to cross the water in a rowboat, but it's the fastest way. I'll take the southern route, even though it's longer. I know it well. I often take it for business. I know the terrain and the British guards that patrol the area, so we know when to ride out. We also need to know if the British are coming by land or water. That way we'll know how to avoid them.
We need to find someone to be on watch and signal whether the British are coming by land or water.
I know the right man for the job, Robert Newman. He watches over the Old North Church. I'll instruct him to send a signal with lanterns in the tower of the church. That's a perfect spot. It will signal other fellow Sons of Liberty, just in case we can't leave town. I'll ask him to light 2 lanterns if the British troops come by sea and 1 if they march by land.
fog, you will need to make a few stops to alert militia commanders and Minutemen that the British are coming. It will be a dangerous ride.
We're up for the task, sir. You can count on us.
I second that. We are loyal sons of liberty and support the patriots at all costs.
As Patrick Henry says, give me liberty or give me death.
Very well, gentlemen. Let's pray that it is a successful meeting, and we will be in touch.
Okay, raise your hand if you've ever been to Disney. Okay, only a few people. Who's been to the House of Presidents? Only a few. Well, George Washington didn't get to say much. Well, I created him a little speech. So here's what it would be. My fellow Americans, today I see everyone which I am proud of. I've seen many warriors die for freedom, and it is glory to see my fellow Americans. Ever since, I've just been so proud of everyone here to have liberty.